Hello everybody and welcome to a video from PawWord, Legendary Pets, the home of the magic machine where you can get wonderful stories and illustrations about your dog sent to your email or via text message. It's an amazing platform. It's free to try. Go visit pawword.com. So what are we doing today? We are going to make a few illustrations and images. What you're seeing on your screen right now is one of our favorite dogs. Her name is Margaux. She is a gorgeous French Bulldog, fawn French Bulldog, who loves to get dressed up. Her mom is a friend of mine. She was one of Fat Russell's best friends. You can see all of our little pals on the bottom of the screen here. So the idea today is to show you what it takes to make some of the PawWord illustrations. Sometimes they're easy, sometimes they're hard. So I had asked, what would be a cool illustration of Margaux. Obviously, she has this trademark bow that she wears on her head. Now, I thought going into this, it would be easy. As it turns out, it's not so easy. So let's look at a bunch of the illustrations here that we came up with, and we'll see how we do. Okay. So here is one of my favorite ones that we came up with. So some of the themes that we were given were fall, the ocean, and Christmas. And for fall, this is a beautiful one. One problem: no bow on her head. So this overall became an issue. So let's see if we can start at the beginning. I'll just go through some of the ones. So this is kind of more of an illustration style, like almost a comic book type thing. So we got the bow on her head and we got a Christmas theme here. I like this one. So a lot of these we'll either like or I don't know. We'll see. We used 3 different forms of artificial intelligence for this. So I do use AI. So we use AI mixed with artists to create this stuff. So we always start with AI and then we blend from there. So, okay, so here is Margaux on the beach. She's got her pink bow on her head, big ears, bigger than she, has. I don't think she has those giant Frenchy ears. Also, not necessarily all fawn, right? You've got some colors here. So these are some of the issues that happen. Like, even though I told the machine fawn French Bulldog, it decided to throw some white in there. So I kind of like that one, but not so much. So this one, you get an all fawn one. Still got that. I like this one, but so what I was trying for here was the bow atop her head, also a dress as she's wearing. As you can see in some of her, she's always wearing a dress. So some artificial intelligence, again, let's just call it the magic machine. Sometimes the magic machine gets the difference. You can tell here that it put a bow here and a bow here, and that's kind of what I found out, is that it really doesn't want to put the bow on top of the head. Like, if it does, often it puts it as a collar. So this was hard. I like this one, but still not perfect. I'm going to tell you, I'm not sure that I got to perfect on this one. There's some cool ones here, but let's see. So this one is probably one of my favorites, right? A little big of the ears, but this really captures the essence. These are cartoonish, right? There's something called the uncanny valley. It's why we don't really use pictures, right? If we used a picture of try to recreate an exact photo of your pal, it's you know immediately it's not yours. But like this and Margaux, not a million places apart, right? As you can tell, Margaux kind of has that darkened coloring on here. You can see it through here. There's a variety of methods I could do. Sometimes, most of Margaux's pictures I could get had her in a dress. If I had more pictures of her kind of undressed, sad to say, I can kind of blend things. But when the magic machine doesn't like when you start with somebody wearing clothes. Rather start with a blank canvas. So again, we're playing over and over here with how do we get a dress and a bow on top of your head. So here's a Christmas one. I kind of like this one. It's more of like a children's book illustration than anything. You have the bow atop her head. The coloring is pretty close. Can't tell if she's wearing kind of a Santa's outfit here. If I didn't tell you to look for the fact that there's a bow always where the collar goes, you probably wouldn't notice. But I kind of like this one. We may even play with this one later. Let's see. Well, let's save this image. And where were we here? Margaux Xmas. Because at the end we're gonna try to create a T-shirt to go with this. So here's a watercolor. So another part of the Magic Machine is trying to kind of give it perspective, right? Like I thought this one came out pretty darn good, but it's kind of just her head, so that wasn't exactly what we're going for. But I like this one a lot. I'm, they say, what do they say, laws and sausages. You don't want to see how either of them are made. Well, this is kind of the, I'm not going through all of what I did. I mean, you could see here, like, oh, I'm just scrolling through it. This is just one of the things we did of all the different Margaux things. I kind of like this one right here. Her in a little dress, no bow on her head, but that's sometimes like, so when the Magic Machine is putting out illustrations that go with stories, how you describe your pal means a lot. Like I tried all tan French Bulldog, even though she's fawn. I tried all tan. Sometimes it listens, sometimes it doesn't. This is the Magic Machine is growing and getting better. But okay, so where were we? All right, so we were at the water. We went to this one. It's a different watercolor one, I think. Or is this the same watercolor one? No, it's a different watercolor one, or the same one. Okay, so here's a cartoonish one. Like this is one of the ones I like the most. Again, that I think I saved this one already. I'll give all these to Margaux's mom, and she can decide which one she likes, and then I can also, like I said, try to make a T-shirt up or something cool. That was my goal, was to send something cool as a T-shirt, as a gift. So here's another one. So I like this one. Again, pretty close to Margaux. You're never going to get that exact fur coloring because you're just not going to pull it off, and it's not meant to be. Like, again, that uncanny valley is part of it. But you have a blue dress, you have the blue bow on top of her head. The coloring's pretty close. You even have kind of the dark face a little bit. Okay, so here's what happens when you try to do pictures, right? Like, that's kind of a cool looking picture, but that's not really Margaux, right? Like so that's why we say, so this is more of a 3D illustration, or cartoon blended 3D. Imagine more like Pixar. I think it's cute, bow on the head. Coloring's all wrong, right? Like, definitely told it fawn. I don't know why it went this way. Here's an example of so often when you request the Magic Machine do its thing, it will give you 4 different examples. So I just want to show a couple of these where, this is where I said, light fawn French Bulldog with a blue bow on her head. And this is what it came back with. No bow on the head, no bow on the head, no bow on the head, no. But I mean, they're cute, but they're not what you want. So those are some of the things that we're, at PawWord, we're working on, right? And that we need to improve about how we communicate to our members, how they can best describe their dog in a way that is effective, right? Like many people often get overly specific, which we want, but we also kind of like, hey, well, let's, somebody really sticks out where they have a dog who has a Florida-shaped something on them. I'm like, Magic Machine's not there yet, but eventually it will be. So it's like, I don't want to discourage people from putting extensive descriptions, but also in the same respect, I want to maybe we'll have 2 places. One where it's like, hey, give me kind of a base thing if you're describing it to an 8-year-old, and then give it to me if you're describing it to an artist. So here's another, 4 illustrations of these. It's cut off a little bit on the screen, I can see here, but the bottom left I like. This top left, this is another part of the issue. So this top left kind of looks good. So I was going for a Christmas type theme here. But that bow is kind of just floating out there. Even this one down here is floating a little bit, but it's still better. Got Big Al Trumpets over here. He's just mad because anytime I do anything, he needs attention. I mean, some of these come out really cute. They're just not Margaux, right? Like this bottom right one's really cute, just not Margaux. Here's some more here. These are closer to a Pixar thing, and this upper left one I think is really cute and kind of looks like Margaux. Maybe the little Margaux doesn't have, she's always wearing a dress, so she does have some white hair. So I can't tell if she has a white chest. Albert is aggravated. I can tell if you're watching this. You don't mind dogs barking. Albert, is somebody delivering us something? I hope it's a pizza. We like when we get pizzas delivered. Okay. All right. So again, I like this one. It's hard for me to pick for somebody else. Accounting for taste. So this one I liked a lot too. This is kind of a watercolor. It was meant to be closer to a Christmas theme with the background. Still not like the bow on top of the head just turned out to be a really difficult task because it's not a normal thing, right? What I don't mean by it's not a normal thing. So how the magic machine works is it looks at all the pictures in the world, right? Or maybe not all the pictures, but as many as it can. It says, okay, this is what usually a tan or a fawn French bulldog looks like. And then you say, but I want one with a bow on their head. They're like, I know what a bow is, and I know French bulldog, but I don't know exactly where to place it at. So it gets a little harder. Still, I think it looks cute, and I don't know if I am too much of a perfectionist. Like I notice things. This one looks really cute. I don't doesn't necessarily look exactly like Margaux. This is another kind of like 3D Pixar Sony animation type style where it's just popping off the page. I think it looks really cute. And it looks like maybe Margaux as a puppy. It looks younger. Margaux's only I think 6, but this looks like a 6-month-old French bulldog. All right. So again, I really like the Christmas thing. I wanted to do to see if I could get a cool Christmas T-shirt. That was why I kept going. So these was more meant to be like a T-shirt design. Not that it would stand alone, but then I would put text around it. So these are a bunch of them. And you can see up here in that upper right where it's like, I got the bow on top, right top, but it then puts a bow on the neck. And like that was the thing that was hard. Even, it just was just fighting me the whole way. And this is one where it really drives me nuts because the one in the upper left-hand corner right here is probably my favorite one of every. So I also did fall. So it was ocean, fall, Christmas were the 3 kind of themes that I had to work with. And I love this one on the upper left-hand corner. The bow is finally perfect. But for some reason, the French Bulldog is now black instead of fawn. And I tried changing that. I tried doing a bunch of different things. Just didn't work. It's such a shame. I did try to play with it. But, that's the hard part. It's like it's not as exact as you want it to be. And I always say it's a bit of a slot machine, meaning you never know what you're going to get. Now, obviously, I have spent thousands of hours doing this. So, knowing how to change the verbiage or do different things, this one just, to match the themes, you can see it did it almost in all of them. Of course, in the one that it got it entirely wrong. The bottom left was correct. So, it doesn't always listen, kind of like a bulldog. So here are a few that it finally got like what I was going for. It was more of a portrait style, and I like these quite a bit. This is it's an illustration. It looks kind of like a painting, but it gets the bow in the right place. It looks interesting. Even though the dress has kind of a bow-esque look to it, it doesn't really look like there's just a bow stuck on the collar. So, and then here's another one that we came up with. I like this one. It's just, I don't know. I like it. It's just a little not perfect. And I'm kind of a perfectionist. So we were trying to do something here where, all right, I don't know if we were gonna make a Margaux T-shirt, but I'll just go over here to the one that I was working on. Oh, Albert is not happy. Albert is like, so this did not come out exactly the way that I wanted to. So this is supposed to be, it says Santa's naughty list over here, and proud member of Santa's naughty list. Just not a fan. Let me see if I can upload something else. Do we have anything else here that? All right, let's see the Margaux Xmas one and see what that comes up. So these are all just different tools that that we use. I don't need to go into a million different explanations of how they work or what they do. And we're kind of experts at this after a while. Now, I'm not going to tell you this looks exactly like Margaux. Vectorize this, and you don't need to know any of this. I think Albert has to go potty. He's just decided right in the middle of me recording this. Okay, so now we have that. We make her big like this. I know, Albert, you've decided you need to go potty or something right when Daddy needs to work. Just like a bulldog. So that's, oops, that is not what we want to do here. Let's see if we can just get the illustration. But you get the point here. So now we've got a Margaux t-shirt. We can even mock it up. Let's go over here. Let's see if we can't mock it up. I know, buddy. You're a good boy. That's a little too big. There you go. Just download that mock-up. We'll put it. Maybe we'll use it as a thumbnail for this video, and people like it. But yeah, so I mean, that's. I just want to give people a little insight into. By the way, I didn't really get too deep into it. I kind of showed you guys the finished product. This was 40. I don't even know. I don't know. Sometimes you just go down a rabbit hole and you say, okay, you keep wanting to make them better. But I did quite a few of these. I probably did 100 or so illustrations to come up with a handful that we like. This is just an idea of the type of effort we go into and the learning and the knowledge that goes into the PawWord platform. And this is also the type of stuff. So we create a lot of different t-shirts, and we post them over on Good Dog Gift. There's a link on the PawWord website, but you can see all sorts of stuff. Right now we're doing a bunch of Halloween ones, so you can go in there. You can also shop by breed. We're going to be adding a lot more breeds. We're just this is just the Bulldog stuff. But this is one of my favorites, the all treat. This is just, I mean, as far as I know, only us that do all treats, no tricks, PawWord clothing, and they're relatively inexpensive. So certainly would say, our platform is free. We do a lot of different stuff to help people who've lost their dogs, and the way you can support us is by, buying a t-shirt, or we also have a book which helps explain everything called The Journey Over the Rainbow Bridge. You can buy the book. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it through our website. That pretty much do it. So subscribe to the PawWord channel. We're going to continue to put out information. We put out a lot of story videos about different dogs, automated shorts, and things like that. We're going to do some more long-form stuff, explaining the platform, and also kind of, probably do some more long-form cartoon-esque stories that you can watch on here. We also have a podcast, PawWord Podcast, available on Apple, iTunes. You can get us on all the social medias. See them up here. We've got Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, you name it, we're on there. So that is going to do it for today, and I really appreciate you watching.